Thank you, Sandra, for this moment to have a conversation on what you do, what you believe, and what you hope about the future.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I would like you to tell us about your organization is called Climate Chronicles.
Yes, so my organization is called Genesis Empowerment Trust, and Climate Chronicles is one of the projects that we are doing.
Or Climate Chronicles is a project of your organization.
Of my organization.
Tell us.
Yes. So, Climate Chronicles is an initiative where we move to rural areas and we try to document how rural women are living and the challenges they are facing that climate change induced, as well as the adaptation strategies they are facing. We also try to look at the challenges they come across in trying to deal with the challenges they are facing. Yes.
So far in your work on this subject, have you found maybe adaptation methods that the women use in rural areas that can also be useful in urban settings or in other territories?
In other territories, yes, but with urban settings, it's quite difficult to find the ones that suit in rural areas and urban settings as well,
Okay.
because the environment are totally different altogether.
Tell us, have you seen a situation where the system is supporting these rural women to adapt to climate change? Like, for example, the government, either local government or national government, or are they just left to struggle on their own?
There are systems that are placed there. I remember one of the communities that we went, they were given subsidies in form of agricultural implements, and they established a community garden, which really helped them in fending for their children in terms of school fees. Uh, yeah, they are really helping. But in some areas where um, their leaders, their political leaders are not that functional, like this other area that we went to, even the roads are not that good. So it really differs with the,
From community to community?
yes, from community.
Okay, you mentioned something about women having gardens.
Yes.
Are these community gardens or individual owned by families?
The ones that I saw were community gardens.
Community gardens. Can you
Yes.
tell us a bit more about community gardens and the fact that people always, sometimes people say that Africans cannot feed themselves?
We are capable of feeding ourselves.
We can feed ourselves.
We can.
So why do people think that we cannot?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know why they say that. But in Zimbabwe here, most of the population rely on subsistence agriculture. If one is living, there are people in rural areas that don't buy anything. They don't buy anything that is grown. So through these gardens, they grow crops like vegetables and maize, off-season maize, um, where they will be using irrigation. They water the crops. And in terms of providing food for their children, they do have food. Maybe what then lacks in communities like that, uh, things like money to pay for school fees. And because they are also selling this produce, the challenge of money is lessened in the process.
I think it's very interesting to know that there are communities where money is not everything because they can produce most of the things they need.
Okay, let me give you a big story.
Yes.
I grew up in Nyika. It's in one of the rural areas. I remember my father was a primary school teacher. However,
And you are a teacher.
yes.
Or you teach the community, I mean, you work with community people, a
Yeah.
kind of education. Yeah.
I'm actually a primary school teacher.
Oh, okay. As a for your profession,
Yes.
that's interesting.
So
Like
is
father, like daughter.
like father. So his salary couldn't cater for all of us because we lived with extended family. His sister's children, uh, like they had passed on, and he was taking care of them. So we were quite a big family. But um, we didn't rely on his salary for food. His salary couldn't cater for all of us in terms of paying for school fees. But we had a farm where we would grow our food. And when it's time to go to his workplace, the school where he taught, we would go with all the food that we need. So people can survive with agriculture without needing money.
And perhaps that can be extended to other things. Yeah, but money has become so central in society these days. I understand that when people produce food for themselves and maybe for their neighbors, for their families, they're producing things that are very healthy, things that are relevant to their culture. This is the essence of food sovereignty.
Yes.
Produce what you need, how you need it, and the kind of food that really addresses
Your
your cultural
nutritional
life, your
needs.
nutritional needs, your cultural life, your spiritual life. You don't have to depend so much on, you don't depend on industrial agriculture. And these gardens you're talking about, um, they're not monocultures. They are mixed cropping.
They do mixed cropping.
Exactly. So you don't use toxic chemicals. Do they use chemicals
Not really.
like herbicides to kill plant other things?
So as we do our work in climate chronicles, we then also encourage people to adapt to organic way of doing things. So these are rural areas where they have a lot of cattle manure. They use
Oh,
that for their manure.
not
And
artificial fertilizers.
yes, and things like ash is used to treat pests, and we also encourage them to rotate their crops
Okay.
so that there won't be accumulation of diseases and
Well, and to also keep the soil healthy.
yes,
That it itself helps to draw carbon and keep the planet cool.
yes. So I think besides us telling them, it's part of indigenous knowledge. Our grandmothers know that you can't keep on growing maybe groundnuts in the same field. You need to exchange. So they do it organically.
It's interesting you mentioned indigenous knowledge. And so, in terms of your the fellowship with Omega Resilience Awards Africa, what do you think is the place of indigenous knowledge in trying to understand the multiple crises we have in the world today?
I think indigenous knowledge is the way to go because I think in as much as the modern ways are quick to address what we are seeing, they have their own demerits, which are catastrophic to the environment. So indigenous knowledge has been tried and tested. This is what our ancestors used to do, and they didn't have much polycrisis like what we are facing today.
Right.
So I think going back and adapting what they used to do, it's still the same environment. And their knowledge can, I believe, it can even help us in replenishing the earth.
But we need to learn
Yes,
from the indigenous knowledge.
from the indigenous knowledge.
Now, one final question. We've been talking about the good life. What is your understanding? Or what should give me a picture of what really is a good life from your own perspective?
Good life, from my own perspective, is living in harmony with nature, um, with humans uh, knowing their standpoint in the environment, not them being dominant or owners of the environment, but us knowing that the relationship between us and the environment is reciprocal, we gain from it, it gains from us. Good life generally to me is having love for one another. Um, if we have love for our environment, then definitely we can take care of it, knowing that we need it, we need to gain from the environment needs to gain from us, and the future generations also need to gain from the same environment.
Excellent. I think it's a very important point that you made. You said that the good life is living in harmony with nature. The good life is loving your neighbor, loving yourself, and loving other beings.
Yes.
This is wonderful.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for all that you do,
Thank
and
you so much.
congratulations
Thank
for
you.
what you are yet to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.